Nobody likes being told what to do. It seems as if everyone wants to be a Christian that does what they want to. The only problem is we're supposed to be subject to a power far greater than ours. One whose ways are not our ways, we don't even think alike. Bend our will to one whose will is far stronger than ours could ever be, and that is God. That's why it's so hard for me to believe that what the sovereign God of the universe wants and what we want cross paths as often as we say they do. Sometimes, maybe, but 90% of the time, I doubt it. Science teaches that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, and I concur, but I wonder if God does. Because it seems as if in his eyes, every decision affects the present, impacts the future, and echoes into eternity. I'm convinced that we're going against his grain, coloring outside the lines God designed for our very lives. And you see, that's why we have to stay on track. I've heard it said that where there's a will, there's a way. And the question many have is, where is God's will? It's in the Bible. God's journal, the manuscript for life, and our basic instructions before leaving earth. What God desires from us lies within those pages, which is exactly why we stay away from it. We're clinging to the lie that ignorance is bliss, running from the truth because the church, it strikes hard when it hits. It strikes hard when it hits. But those unexcused absences mean absolutely nothing, because there will be a quiz, and it's called life. And it's in your best interest to pass, because there will be no extra credit or partial forthcoming. And whether few or many, best believe them stripes are coming. The will of God is hard to describe. It's a journey to stay in. But I'm convinced that if you keep your nose in the book, eventually you will look up and see that you've arrived. You'll find that his will is less than a rigid cage than it is something to get lost in as you seek to find. Now, it's not crystal clear, but he gave us the blueprint. It's only after trial and error that eventually we'll be like, oh, that's what you meant. Eventually, we'll be in alignment to fulfill our God-given assignment by humbling ourselves and drawing near. God will tell you what he wants you to do for his kingdom. Work well with other believers until the king comes. So let's unify. I can't do this alone, so let's unity, because God said so. It's been a long time coming, but the saints, we're bringing the real back. If you're looking for us, you can find us where his will at. Thank you.